I don't understand that phrase actually, since Peter was the first one he was called, but and you know, if you read the Gnostic Gospels, the ones that were found quite recently, and the Gnostic Gospels were outlawed by the early church fathers, Mary figures very, very intimately in those early days, and very intimately with Jesus, which would make sense. So no one can, we can't know, but I think about a woman who wants to live a life of meaning, who wants to live a life where she chooses her life, where she, as I say, integrates her physical life with her spiritual life, and that could be any one of us. I like that she struggles with the other apostles the way women still struggle with groups of men. If you've ever been in a meeting with 12 men and one woman, and the men seem to do all the talking until a woman interrupts and asks or speaks, still the case. So I think of her with all those guys, you know, making her voice heard. And one of the Gospels, the Gospel according to Mary Magdalene, is really quite funny in that way. You know, Mary is the one credited with seeing Jesus first after his resurrection. It's a beautiful story. It's very, very metaphorical. I mean, she goes to the grave to prepare his body, and it's gone, and she thinks it's been stolen. We think of all the sort of revolutionaries, you know, whose bodies are then taken by the military or taken away so they can't be used as martyrs. Che Guevara, I mean, so many of these bodies come to mind. They're removed, you know. And I think that's what she thought. And she runs and tells everybody. They don't believe her. And then they run and find out that it's empty. But she goes back later, and she's sitting in the garden. And one of my favorite stories about her is she's just sitting there kind of weeping. And then she notices the gardener. And he's across the garden, and he just looks up and says her name. And she knows it's Jesus. Now, is that literal? We all know what it is to see someone and then suddenly see someone we love in that person. It's all very mysterious, wonderfully layered, I think. So she strikes me as a woman of imagination and passion and power and vulnerability and an open-heartedness.